the whole concept of artificial intelligence, machine, is spreading very rapidly, and a lot of people are very concerned with this technology. Um, it's a great hype. I think it's overhyping. It's a overhyping phenomenon. Listen to all those pioneers, those people who are behind this whole artificial intelligence, and different experts and innovators, specialists in this field, and there seems to be a competition who can come up with a robot that can probably outdo human being in various various things to show that a machine is on the way to outdo human in terms of the intelligence and stuff like that. Uh, but they have some very interesting goal that seems far-fetched and unrealistic. You know, and it's a lot of these goals that they have in mind that I think they can achieve by the robotics is not feasible. It's not possible. But that's what one thing with human being, they can really think beyond the capability. They can imagine things and think they can bring it to pass by the technological wizardry and intelligence. But reality has a way of making human being realize that there are certain things you can think about, certain things you can conceptualize, various things, but I'm going to create a demarcation here, and you can cross over. And there's a lot of stuff that human beings conceptualize, but it just can't be realized because it's not a practical thing to do. I want to listen to all of these things about this artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is good in some way, when especially medically, and it's taking over in the workplace these days. A lot of people are going to be replaced in the job, and in different circumstances, like situation where human being can be killed, and so machine can use to do whatsoever dangerous work, or some other endeavor. It's a machine. Probably can go in a burning house, to put out flame to rescue, people, deal with biohazard stuff, but I've listened a lot of those experts in this field, and what's my view concerning you a machine become more intelligent than human being? It will never happen. No man can make anything that will outdo a human being. Human being Human beings are created by God, and no human being will ever create something, a machine that can outdo us in any way. Doesn't matter what they say. It's all a big hype, and eventually it will come crashing down. You know why? There are several hypes over the course of history. I remember when they mapped the human genome. You remember when they complete the mapping of the human genome, and they all, you know, all hype up about they're going to find a cure for all of these diseases and all of these things, because now we can know what the cause of these different diseases that they have, and until this day they might know what caused a particular disease, but they just can't. They can't stop it. They can't cure it. You see, and all that hype was just vanish. Another hype is when the sickle cell, when they not well, not really sickle cell, but it can the breakthrough that they had is it was hopeful in curing something like sickle cell. Um, but as this very moment, this very time, they cannot achieve that goal in curing um, any disease. They probably can do a little brush up here and there, but nothing really fundamental, nothing on a mega scale, you know. Stem cell, no. It was could cure Parkinson, could cure Alzheimer, and all of these things. Yeah, we have a tendency to elevate ourselves beyond um, beyond the proper limit. You know, easily get inflated. You know, but to our turnout be not be the case. Now, John Lennox is one of my favorite speaker and writer. I wrote a book, and it's called 2084 and the AI Revolution. And it did one before in a smaller book, and then this is more upgraded, and talk about artificial intelligence in the future and stuff like that. You know, there's a term what they call transhumanism, in which you're going to use artificial intelligence to deal with several things that plague humanity for centuries. And even this day, they can't deal with it. They can't solve what they intended to solve. Like, for instance, he said that the agenda is first to solve the problem of physical death by technological means, and second one's human happiness by engineering and cyborg engineering to merge humans with AI tech and turn them into superhuman, super intelligent gods. No man can achieve that. We'll never be God. No machine. No. The human body is so sensitive, and it knows itself so much. So when you try to attach things to it, any kind of um, foreign apparatus, foreign material, it always tend to reject it. Um, and when pertaining to that, no human will ever stop it. No human will ever, they will never find any means, any ways by technological mean, AI mean to stop human death. They will never do that. They can't even slow ages. Senescence is here to stay. Every one of us is growing old. Every one of us is growing old and older every day. It doesn't matter what you eat. It doesn't matter what you take in your body, and all of these artificial substances that they can put outside of your skin, and all of these things for anti-aging cream and all. They can never stop it. You will get old. You're going to get old, and you're going to get old until you die. And these are some of the unrealistic goal and endeavor that they have in thinking that they can use um, artificial um, intelligence to overcome these things that are integrally a part of life. It's the only being can stop that is God Himself. No human being will ever have the capabilities to stop that. They can't do, because we still have even diseases today. And then they're probably going to try to use this mean artificial intelligence to wipe out diseases, and they will never do that. Am I pessimistic? No, I'm just realistic. And you will find out that the whole hype about this artificial intelligence and AI will just eventually, just like every other thing, it does eventually just vanish. Especially when it come on to this level of imagination. AI will be around in the sense that in terms of workplace and in terms of can assist in other area of life, make life more convenient. But when it come on to like to perpetuate human life, to cure human diseases and all of these things, so to vanquish death, will never happen. Never ever happen. Our bodies is already a superhuman entity. God created it. It's breathtakingly complex. And matter of fact, intelligence is covers several aspects of life. It's not just language and some form of education. It covers psycho-emotional aspect of our life, or deal with certain aspect of our life, psychosocially and stuff like that. So it's a cover wide range of spectrum and continuum of life, and it's not as simple as they might think. And as I said before, they will never create a robot or come up with any kind of robotic system that will be more intelligent than human being. No man can achieve that. Nothing on this planet is more intelligent more than a human being, more complex than a human being. And even today, scientists, medical scientists and other years of scientists is trying to figure out certain dimensions, certain aspect of our complexity, like for instance, consciousness. No human being, consciousness is very difficult to to understand, to capture by science, to really define it, put the ends and the instrument and then say, you know what, conclusively this is what consciousness is. You have a very difficult time to do that. And I don't think they will achieve that, because consciousness is not something. Some might say this. It's a subject for neuroscience, but I think more consciousness will fall in the category of philosophy and religion. You know, life, living things, living organism. And you know, they're talking about for a robot to think abstractly as human being, to reason, to feel, to dream, to imagine, you know, um, and involved in metacognition. It's more than plastic and rubber and all of these things and all of these chips. Well, the algorithm, it, algorithm. No human being can write an algorithm that can duplicate these things, can mimic these things, much less to be identical with it. You can't. Um, a robot will ever need a programmer. Will ever need a programmer, and have algorithm to make it do what human beings want it to do. No robot will ever develop any self-consciousness and awareness and all of these things, and uh, will never. So, because consciousness and self-awareness is a fundamental part of being a living organism, and it's not something that come from within. It's not something that is come about by complex matter. You know, it is a divine input. So that no human being will ever achieve something like that. Human beings are more than physical stuff. You know, way back then when people talk, probably 17th, 18th century, people talk about vitalism, and scientific community will come down hard on it and say there's no such thing, because vitalism is talking about there is something within living things that is not it's not derived from physical and chemical, maybe we want to call it reaction or whatsoever. Nothing. It doesn't come from a material. Nothing doesn't come from anything physical. It's totally different from what is physical. That's what makes us alive. That's what gives us the ability, the capability to imagine, to self-reflect, to involve in ideation. You can come up, you can generate thoughts, and you can rethink your thoughts and stuff like that. And an abstract concept of the mind, talk about the first principle of mind, the laws of logics, rational deduction, induction. This is not something that derived from any kind of material substance. It's something that is radically a distinct aspect of living organism that no human being can ever achieve certain. That's why I'm telling you that despite all of these things that they're talking about using AI to do all of these things, it never come to pass. It's just like, for instance, um, people this um, this discipline, the scientific discipline to explain how life got started. Origin of life researchers and all of these people that spend years and years and a lot of hours trying to, conceptualize how they think life, the first life gets started on the planet Earth and stuff like that. And a lot of them believe, well, probably not a lot, but few of them believe that the one day that will create life in love. And some of them even make dates, and the dates already passed, and nothing of them not even come close. And as Dr. James Tour, one of those leading critics against these people who think they can make life in the lab, and that life came about some millions of years ago by time and chance, said these professors, these researchers, they were going to die. All of them going to die and never achieve that. The students are going to die and never achieve it. The students are going to die and they'll never achieve this. Because it's something beyond human capability. And we have to admit there are a lot of stuff that we cannot do, and we will never do it because these things are supernatural. You're moving the veil of what is humanly impossible, and somehow you think you can achieve these things by human means. I will never achieve these things by human means. Just like, for instance, science will never ever reach a point in which they can raise the dead. They will never stop anyone from dying, and they will never able to raise the dead. Ever, never. It doesn't matter what they think and believe, they will never do that. Transhumanism is a failed goal. It will never achieve what it set out to do. We must come to the grip of our own limitation and acknowledge our own limitation. Right? Continues by saying physical death by technological means, and second, to enhance human happiness by using engineering and cyborg and engineering to merge humans with AI tech and turn them into superhuman. We'll never achieve the super intelligence God. No, it's impossible. Far-fetched as these goals may seem, and we give reason for thinking so, these goals are shared by many others whose views we engage. We discuss the extreme but common reductionist view that human beings are nothing but a bunch of algorithms. See, the whole this it's based on their presupposition of what human beings are. Human beings are just matter in motion. Just that is all. Just complex matter. There's nothing transcendent about human beings, and that's why they believe that they can achieve these things by AI system, right? And until they get the proper the anthropology has to change. The whole concept, the whole doctrine of what of anthropology, what human beings are, have to change. And then when they have a full understanding of human beings are, then they will have a proper understanding that, and they will see the severe limitation in trying to achieve the impossible. Yeah. We reported skepticism that neuroscientists express about the idea of prolonging life or finding a cure for death. considering the extreme and expensive length to which some people are going to preserve their bodies by cryonics, hoping that science will eventually find a way to resuscitate their brains and identities. People even talking about downloading their brains or personality and some form of disc or something like that, just to show you the desperation of human being. The some of these things that they're thinking about is just laughable, man, ridiculous. Kind of cryonics is people, freeze them portion of the body, an entire body in this in these containers, and then when they find the cure, they claim, then they will be able to resuscitate the body and then bring back the person, resurrect the person. Because there's a difference in the words resuscitation. I don't like the word resuscitation over resurrection. You resuscitate somebody that is unconscious. But I find by reading, a lot of people start to use these words as almost as if they want to. The word is interchangeable with resurrection, and they're not the same. You cannot resuscitate a corpse. You can't. You resurrect a corpse. You resuscitate a living thing that is somehow, by some means, is unconscious, and you resuscitate a person. But if the person is dead, you cannot resuscitate that person. That person has to be resurrected. That's what anastasis, resurrection, mean getting up of the corpse. That's what resurrection is about. People who die, their body is going to be resurrected, not resuscitated. So I don't know why people always kind of use that word interchangeably when it's not. And the whole issue about cryonics is just nonsense. Who's going to resuscitate them? Who's going to resurrect them? The brain, the brain without the body. Can you resuscitate a brain, a dead brain? Can you resuscitate or resurrect a dead brain? Let me use their own word, talking about somebody died from brain cancer. They put the brain in a vat and freeze it, hoping that when they find the cure for brain cancer, they're going to thaw out the brain and resuscitate the brain, just the brain. So what about so what you're going to do? Put that brain in some kind of AI system or some kind of robotic framework? I don't understand this kind of stuff, man. It doesn't make any sense. And if it's a person put the whole body in a container and freeze it, hoping to find a cure for, say, cancer, who is going to resurrect that person? No human being can resurrect any dead person. None. And they will never achieve that. So all of these things are more like sci-fi, man. These are not a true scientific endeavor. Can achieve those kind of things by scientific means. And we must understand that science has its limitation. Not because we have achieved so much in science, but the things that we achieve in science is nowhere close to this kind of stuff. We're talking about eradicate death from the herd, make people happy. By what? Or you're going to make human being happy by curing all ills of life, all the disease that plague human beings, incurable disease. And even though they have, by the understanding of the whole genome and all of these different genes that responsible for the disease, they can't find any cure for these things. And some not with proper treatment, you just sick until you die. So that is why I said they will never, artificial intelligence will never achieve those kind of stuff. Never ever will achieve those kind of stuff. And you will see for yourself. When they achieve these little stuff here and there with artificial intelligence, then they start to extrapolate, they start to you know, think outside the box now, and then they get carried away by these conceptualization that will never come to be in the real world. They will remain in their head, in their brain, in their mind, but they will never have being in this reality, because these are God factors. The human being will never create any a machine to make any human being super intelligent. When we are compared to the lower animals, we are super intelligent. We are like gods to them. But you have other human being believe that animals are so intelligent and all these things, the apes and the honey badger and octopus and all of these animals, they deem them as so intelligent, smart. There's something in human beings seeking some other living being that's more superior to them. They're looking for something that over this kind of overarching superiority, dominance. And that's why a lot of people believe in aliens and believing that their civilization is more superior to ours, And now they're looking to deify themselves by technological means, and this whole cyborg stuff, and attach machine to human body, think they can achieve these things. Back then when I used to watch a $6 Million Man, and all these things, these movies were kind of futuristic, of the machine with the human flesh and bone and all of these things. But a former neuroscientist was explaining. He gave up the whole profession, and he was saying that one of the things that fascinates him the most is when the scientist is trying to put machine to the brain, attaching all of these things to the brain and stuff like that, and it's not working because it left scar tissue on the brain, and so since it left scar tissue on the brain, then whatsoever they're trying, the neurological network, and that's the interface between this machine and the neurological network for the brain, or it's not that interface can never happen because of scar tissue, because the human body knows itself, and it doesn't like when anything that is unknown to it attached to it. It has to be its own self, and it recognizes its own self and can distinguish between its own self and things that are artificial and things that are alien to it. So it will ever resist it and fight it. So this is my as I listen to all of these specialists and all of these people that that's pushing the whole AI system and whole AI phenomena. That's what they think. They think the world is going to be different in 2050 because here this whole AI thing is going to take over society so much, and everything's going to be transformational and all of these things. It's not going to happen. It's as to a degree, general AI in time in workplace and stuff like that, and help us do labors and help us out in that way. Yes, it will be predominant, you know in the future it will progress, but this artificial AI system that they want to make to replace human beings or to somehow enhance human being or augment human being in such a way that they excel themselves in whatsoever, whether to run the fastest human being, just like the $6 million man, or you have super intelligence and all of these things, probably can jump for over a tree, live long, probably immortal, because you're talking about super intelligence and godhood. Uh, these things will never happen. And no machine will ever replace human being. None. Remember, I tell you that it's not achievable. It's not achievable because there's something other than that's based upon this whole thing based upon a materialistic reductionist approach to anthropology to human being, because they think we are just physical stuff, just brain and nerves and stuff like that. But there's a transcendent aspect to us. There's a transcendent dimension to every living human being. And if human being cannot create that transcendent dimension, then they will never be able to achieve what they think they can achieve by creating something that is more brighter and more intelligent than human being and all of these stuff. And this transcendent dimension or aspect of human being that did what talk about the soul, consciousness, is a God thing. That's what makes things alive. When that thing is separated from the material stuff is disintegrated. It's die. It dies. It just. That's why we have corpse. Right? That's why we have corpse. Because without that transcendent aspect, that's all they will ever have, a corpse. When the soul, the self-consciousness is removed from the materiality, you have death. Or they're going to achieve deathlessness in our world by technological means with a reductionist materialistic approach. It will never happen. Because we are complex human beings. We are not just matter. Complex organized matter. We are way beyond that. So tell me, what do you think? You're one of those who believe that they will achieve what they say they will achieve by artificial intelligence, AI? Let me know. We'll see. Oh.